I audible like clear?
You're audible clearly.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just sure. Okay. So good evening, everyone. We'll start our presentation sessions now. First, we have Akanksha Mahamuni with us. Akanksha, what's your topic?
A man in the middle attack using ARP spoofing.
Okay.
Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Mahamuni, and I am from 1st April Cybersecurity Intern Batch. The topic I'm gonna talk about is man in the middle attack using ARP spoof. Table of contents, I'm going to talk about what is the man in the middle attack, how to perform it using ARP spoofing, how to prevent it, and some attack examples in the real world. First, what is the man in the middle attack? Before that, I want you to know how a normal packet flows from one computer to another. So when multiple devices are connected in a particular network, they try to communicate with one another using packets. So this is the source device and this is the target device it is trying to send the packets to. It will the packet will have header which will include the MAC address of the destination device through which it will pass on the packet to multiple devices until it reaches the destination device. Man in the middle attack. What is man in the middle attack? A particular user, if he is trying to access a particular web application, or two different computers are trying to communicate with one another and sending packets, a particular perpetrator or an attacker tries to establish a new connection between them, and it tries to establish a new connection and pretend to be the web application or the destination device to whom the source device is trying to send the message to. This is how a man in the middle attack is performed. It can either harm a particular web application or it can pretend to be the destination device. Let's have a look at an example to understand this better. Alice and Bob, these two people are trying to communicate with one another, and Alice is trying to receive money from Bob, for which he will send a particular key. So, firstly, Alice is trying to send over, asking for the key from the Bob. So, until and unless Bob doesn't send the key, she won't know that Bob is the actual person who is trying to send this. So he will request for the key. Bob. Then there will be an interceptor, which will be the attacker. His name is Chris. He will intercept this connection and he will forward the message or maybe manipulate it. So when Alice requests for the key from Bob, Chris intercepts it and forwards the key to Bob. After sending the key, Bob will send the key to Alice. Sorry, sir, I fumbled a bit. I will start from beginning. Firstly, Alice is requesting a particular key from Bob. He sends the message that send over your key. Then Bob will send the key, but since the interceptor has broke the connection, he will take the Bob's key and replace it with his key, and then Alice will receive the Chris attacker's key. Once the key is received by Alice, Alice sends the account number to Bob, and the attacker replaces this bank account number to his bank account number and sends it to Bob. And since Bob was to send the money to Alice, and he thought that the account number sent was by he believed that the account number which was sent was from Alice, sent to the wrong account. This is one of the intentions why this attack is performed, and it can also be performed to manipulate the data or access sensitive information of the device or the source of the destination devices which are attacked. Why is this kind of attack performed? There are several reasons why this attack is performed. This is performed for disrupting a business's continuity. A particular business is performing really well and it is a competition or a threat to your business. they can do it for this, and this actually is an illegal way to disrupt their processes. Another reason is information theft and manipulating data. Then creating fear and chaos by disrupting critical infrastructure. A particular business is running very smoothly, but they want to cause a disruption in it. Then financial loss to the target. If the attacker knows that the device they are trying to attack is really, the device belongs to a very rich person or he has a lot of money, they will try to manipulate the data and take money from them. Then achieving states military objectives, demanding ransom, so they can get access to sensitive information of the attack device and ask for money. Then damaging reputation of the target. If that target is some celebrity or a really famous personality, they would try to destroy that. Then how to perform this kind of attacks? We will have a look at attack progression. First, we have to perform an interception. We have to intercept into the actual connection between the two devices, the source device and the destination device. This can be done by several ways. IP spoofing, which is altering the packet headers in an IP address. Then ARP spoofing, where address resolution protocol links the MAC addresses and communicates to one another. Then DNS spoofing, it is altering a website's address record. The practical which I was told to perform was ARP spoofing. To understand this better, I will explain it through this diagram. So supposedly, no, I'll explain it through another diagram. But in this, what is spoofing? Cyber fraudster establishes trust with the individual. He tries to establish trust by pretending to be a person whom she trusts, and then steals information or money. There are types of exploitation targeting inadvertent weaknesses. This is the pie chart which shows how many attacks are performed in terms of percentage. 27% of the attempts are made to exploit misconfigured servers. Then 38% attempts to trick users into clicking on a malicious link or attachment. Then over 35% of the attempts are conducted in order to perform man-in-the-middle attacks. So this is the actual demonstration. I have not really performed it since it's not possible for me to perform this attack, since it requires multiple devices. But I will take you through the steps that are taken in order to perform this attack. In order to perform this attack, first the attacker's device need a virtual machine in which Kali Linux is installed. For this, we have to install either a virtual box or a VMware, and after that we have to install ISO appliance into this virtual box. After that, we are able to create an account, and this is the terminal where we will manipulate the MAC addresses and perform IP forwarding, etc. So this is the terminal of the attacker's device. In this, I am trying this code is used to perform IP forwarding, which simply means that supposedly there is a network where 4 to 5 devices are connected. Device 1 is trying to communicate with device number 3. Then the source device will have a particular MAC address, and the destination device will have a particular MAC address. And the source device will try to send packets by using the MAC address, which will be stored in the packet while it is being forwarded. And the attacker disrupts this connection, and it pretends to be the destination device by changing its own MAC address. So this code ARPSPOOFIETHT will perform ARP spoofing, through which this is the IP address of the source device, and 192.168.43.163, it is the IP address of the destination device. What this code will do is that it will change the attacker's device's MAC address into the destination device's MAC address, because of which the source device will think that the device is sending the packet to the destination device, and there won't be any doubts. This is the CMD terminal of the source device. After establishing this connection, and we have the attacker's device has changed its MAC address to the destination device, we will try to trace the packet that is being sent from the source device. So when we perform this code TraceERT 192.168.43.168. It will show the number of hops, which means through which devices it is passing in order to reach the destination device. In a normal connection without any attack being performed, the packet will directly be sent to the destination address. But in this case, the packet is first being sent to the attacker's device connection, and after that it is being sent to the destination device. We can either alter this data, or we can simply forward it. Before this, when the source device or the attack device is trying to open any website or trying to log in into anything, we can, all those packets will be sent to the attacker's device, and she will be able to access the password, the login credentials, even the credit card information of that attack device. How to prevent man in the middle attack? These are certain tips which can be taken into consideration. Keep an eye out for unexpected or repeated disconnections. If there are multiple disconnections coming from the same IP address, we should suspect it. Strange addresses in your browser address bar, then connection to public and unsecured Wi-Fi connections. There are times when public Wi-Fi connections do not have any password, and our device automatically gets connected to it. There is a high chance in that case that man in the middle attack can be performed. Then network connections to unfamiliar locations. Steps we can take now are, we can inspect current Wi-Fi connections. Supposedly, I am connecting to my home Wi-Fi. I will check if there are multiple strange IP address connections made through various other devices which are not the usual devices used by my family members. I will suspect it. Then check for malware, use a network sniffer defensively, and monitor network activity. These are the prevention measures which we can take. We can keep strong encryption on access points, then use stronger router login credentials. We have to provide a stronger password which can't be hacked easily, then restrict access to the local area network, use VPN, then force HTTPS request. HTTPS request is basically when we try to access any website. HTTP, we get a link as HTTPS www.google.com. So in that case, the certification is provided to Google, which means that the Google website is actually what it is trying to portray, that it is Google, it is not some fake website, and they have a particular certificate which indicates that this website is secure, and we can do whatever we want without having a fear of being attacked or any virus being installed into our devices. Then what we have to do is we have to avoid using public networks. As I said, when we go to any public places like cafes or anywhere we are not sure that the device is safe, the Wi-Fi is safe, we should avoid that. Then man in the middle attack examples. These are the real world examples. But before that, I would like to tell you that there was the first man in the middle attack that occurred in the history was when the person who invented the radio transmission, he was trying to experiment by sending the information from one end to another, and it was disrupted by some professor, because of which he manipulated and altered that data, and he passed on the sarcastic message to the receiver end. Then these are the current attacks which occurred: Equifax mobile application, Superfish, DigiNotar. Equifax is the attack which occurred in the United States, which had a data breach of over 44% of the population of the US, because of which the attacker had access to their license number, credit card credentials, their address numbers, their phone numbers, which was a mega data breach. Then the Superfish. Superfish is an adware which was created by Lenovo. What it does, it pretends to have a fake certificate. Like whenever we try to open a particular website, we are surfing, we are trying to search something, and this adware, when it is installed in our computer, what it does is it shows us a fake certificate, and it pretends to be the website we are trying to surf on, and because of which it shows multiple advertisements to us, which a normal website won't show. Then DigiNotar, this was an attack which was performed by a person in Iran. What it did was it established many fraudulent certifications by Google services, and it established, like, the certifications were fake, but a lot of people believed that it was provided by the Google services. Then these are the tools which we can test in order to check if a man-in-the-middle attack has occurred. Pivot, it compares the size performance with one another. If we see a certain hike in the performance, we can suspect it. Then built-in cookie tracking to track visitors' behavior across multiple websites. Then Nikto 2.0, what it does is it scans Apache web server and other popular servers, detect SQL injection flaws, and detects directory traversal attacks. Then Firebug, it manages your virtual machines, monitor your network traffic to make sure it's not being tampered with. Then Nessus, it scans your network for flaws, scans for open ports and services, and checks your configuration settings and logs. If a particular web, like logs contain passwords of our credentials of some websites or maybe bank details, so those logs are not altered or checked by another person who doesn't have access to it. These are the references of the links I have used to create this PPT. Conclusion: these attacks are performed in high in proportion and can damage any business's infrastructure. An organization should use encrypted web traffic by employing a virtual private network. Then it can be prevented with good network hygiene and security protocols. If a Wi-Fi network or website looks suspicious and our instinct tell us that we should not connect to it, then we should always listen to our instinct. And a man in the middle attack can potentially go unnoticed until it's too late. If someone has any doubts or questions, they can ask. Thank you so much. That's it from my side. You can contact me if you have any queries through this Gmail ID.
So it's over, Akanksha, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So Akanksha, you talked about ARP spoofing, right? Do you know about ARP poisoning?
ARP spoofing and ARP poisoning, I suppose it is the same only.
Okay. It's just
Like,
it's actually after the ARP spoofing is done, we do ARP poisoning.
okay.
Yeah. You can do some research on that. I have heard
Okay.
this topic before, so that's why I wanted to talk to you
Okay.
about this. Okay, so Akanksha, I would like to say, you have this thing of presenting your topic very well, and which is a very good point about you. This presentation had everything that should be there in a presentation. So I believe this might be the best presentation I will see about this topic in future. See, this is my very first presentation on this topic, but
Okay.
this presentation has everything which should be included. Like you started from the hook story, very good. Then you came down to the tools which we use. Then you talked about the real world examples that has happened on this. Then there were flowcharts, there were pictorial presentation. You explained them very well, and then you talked about the prevention, what steps should be taken in order to prevent this. So basically, in all, this presentation was very good. I'll say that, right? Yeah, you can do some more research about the
Yeah.
ARP
Yeah,
poisoning,
I'll do that.
and the rest, the presentation was very nice.
Actually, I'm having a bit issue in communication. I'm not that good in communication, so
Yeah,
I really hesitate while
yeah, there
explaining.
was some problem in the middle part. You were stumbling
Yeah,
away,
yeah, 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 yeah,
and
yeah.
but you did continue after that, and that was a very good part. You didn't just stopped there, and you did start. You resumed your presentation, and that's a nice one. So
Thank you
that's
so
all I
much.
have to say. Right. So that's
Thank
all
you.
from my side. Sure. Let's continue further. Since okay, you haven't raised your hand, Bhumika. Do you have your presentation? You can unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I forgot to resign. Good
Yeah,
evening, sir.
sure. Yeah, good evening. Do you have
So,
your
can I
presentation?
share my screen? Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
sure.
I
Go
am
ahead. Go
using.
ahead. Go ahead.
Sir, can you see my slide?
Yeah, it's visible. Stock trading application.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. So can you still see the slide?
Yeah, I can. You can start.
Yeah, okay. Hello everyone. My name is Bhumika Baghel and today I'm gonna present on the topic to read the CSV historical data of the stock market in Java, and it is the part of the project stock trading application. So moving ahead, let's see the contents of this presentation. So we will first see the introduction, then its need, use, and then we will see the demonstration, and lastly its advantages. Moving ahead, now let's understand what is CSV file. So CSV stands for comma separated values, which is a plain text file format.
Bhumika, sorry to interrupt you. Can you please turn your camera on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Right. Please continue.
Okay, so now let's understand what is CSV file. So CSV stands for comma separated values, and it is a plain text file format which stores data in a structured way, and where each value is separated by a comma. And CSV file contains rows of data where each row represents a single record or entry, and within each row the values are separated by commas, hence the name comma separated values. Moving ahead, here we can see an example of how a CSV file looks like. So here we have converted an Excel file into a CSV file. So after conversion, we can see that values in each rows are separated by commas. So moving ahead, now what's the need of CSV file? So it is widely used for exchanging data between software applications and systems, and these are simple and easy to work with, which makes them a popular format for data exchange. And they can store a large amount of data in a compact format, which makes them efficient for data transfer. And these files are compatible with various programming languages and platforms, which makes them an ideal choice for interoperability. Moving ahead, now what's the use of CSV file in stock market? So the first one is historical price data. So stock data providers offer these CSV files containing stock data to do the analysis and perform to do the analysis and perform to analyze trends and perform analysis. Now the second one is the portfolio tracking. So investors and traders can use CSV file to track their portfolio holdings. Now the third one is market research. So CSV files can collect and analyze the market data such as sector performance and economic indicators. Now the last one is data visualization. So these CSV files can be imported in various data visualization tools to create charts, graphs, and various other visual representations of market data. So moving ahead now, let's see how we can read the CSV file. Now there are various libraries available in different platforms. So here we are using the Open CSV library to read the CSV file. So we will use the CSV reader class of Open CSV to read the CSV file, and here we will provide our file under the CSV reader class, and using the while loop we will traverse through each row and read the data. Moving ahead, here as I was already given the stock data for Bank of Baroda, so here is the implementation of CSV reader, and here is the analysis part, and here is the output of data analysis. Now let's to understand its working better, we will see the live demonstration. So can I show the demo?
Sure, go ahead.
Sir, is the intelligent interface visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So here we can see that we have imported the Open CSV reader, and inside the main method under the class stock data reader, we will first store our CSV file. We will first store our CSV file under a string variable, and we will create a data list to store the stock data objects. And inside the try block, we will use the CSV reader class of Open CSV to read the CSV file, and inside the catch block we will handle all the exceptions or error that may occur during the execution or after execution. So here we have done a simple analysis. After reading the CSV file, we can analyze the stock market data as needed. So here we have done a simple analysis, and here it will print all the rows that whose closing prices are less than 180. So after filtering all the data, we will add all the data in a filter data variable and it will print the filter data. So now let's run this program. Here we can see the output. It has printed all the values whose closing price is less than 180. So now coming back to the slides. Uh, Now let's see the advantages of CSV files. So these are easy to use and these are flexible as they can be imported in various, these are supported by various softwares and systems, and these are compatible with various programming languages and softwares, and these are cost effective, and their integration is easy. Thank you. Here are the references I took for my presentation and my task. And if there are any questions, you are free to ask. Thank you, sir. I am done with my presentation.
Okay. So are you taking any questions?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So you did talk about what is CSV and what are the uses and pros and cons. Okay. But why do we need CSV? Can you tell me that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you tell me why do we need
Sir,
CSV?
actually, the way it stores, sir, it stores the data in a simple way, which is easy to analyze the data.
Okay. But see, your task is to read CSV historical data of the stock
Yes,
market, right? So there has to be
yes,
a reason why they store historical data of stock market in CSV format. Just
yes, sir.
because it's easy to use, that's why they use it. There has to be some other formats as well in existing, apart from
Mhm.
CSV, not just CSV.
Yes, sir.
But why do we choose CSV?
Sorry, sir, I don't have that deep knowledge.
Okay, that's fine. That's
In
fine. See, what I'm getting to it is, you can start the presentation with adding some hook story to it. Like they don't
Yes,
not directly jumping to the main topic, like directly starting from what is CSV and why do we use CSV and all. Just start with a good hook story.
yes, sir.
That's what I'm trying to say here. Rest, see, you did explain about the advantages. You gave a good demonstration, good explanation of the code as well. You can work upon your formatting part, not using plain colors, but to add some gradient to it. Rest, I
Yes,
believe
sir.
you did add everything. Like, can you just scroll down to reference slide, please? 13th slide.
Yes, sir. This one.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Two references. Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
That's all I have to
Yes,
say. Just do some research upon your topic, upon your task. So it will help you in Q&A part.
yes, sir. I'll keep that.
Okay. I believe our internet is not working. Okay. That's fine. Since we don't have any more presentations, we can take a discussion session. If you guys have any doubts relating to the working of the task and all, you can just raise your hands. We'll take your doubts if you have any. Yeah, sure. Just I'll just yeah. You can unmute yourself. Believe our internet is not working. Okay, Akansha, you can go first.
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask that I have a fifth task in which I have to go through a particular book of a Microsoft course, and I
Okay.
have to summarize and create notes and make a PPT. So I
Okay.
have been given a deadline of 9th. So is it possible, like I have to create the PPT by the 9th, or do I have to like make notes till that? Like I have to
You can
be done
complete
with the
your
reading.
you can complete your task till 9, and then you can schedule the presentation on 9th itself, and then you'll get the date and then present at that date.
Okay, so like do I have to include just the like the data from the book, or can I use external source?
Yeah, you can use external sources.
Okay.
There's no harm to beautify your presentation with some extra
Yeah, yeah,
sources. It's always good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that's all I believe. Yeah, Bhumika, you can unmute now.
Yes, sir. Sir, my
Yeah.
last presentation hasn't been scored yet.
Right. So I did ask Devanshu sir. There was some problem in the backend part, like the data is not present. Your data is not present basically. So we are working
Yes,
on
sir.
it, and as soon as it will get resolved, I'll score you. Okay.
Okay, sir. No problem.
Yeah. Don't worry about the
Thank
scores. I have the
you, sir.
scores. I'll score you. Fine. So I believe that's all. That's all from the discussion session. I'll just lower your hand. Right. So since we don't have any more presentations to take, we'll end our presentation session now. Thank you, everyone. I'll end this meeting now.